G'day! Question and answers today at Grubby Trev. You've been waiting for it. Always late.
I am actually. Usually to the field, Trevor beats me out every time. So, g'day! Stu from UAVfutures here with Grumpy Trev.
I already said that.
And what we're going to be doing, this is the question and answer. So if you're new to the channel, basically what this is, every second week, or it's meant to be every second week, I do a question and answer video where you drop a whole bunch of stuff in the comments down below, and then I get to answer back and, you know, sort of give you guys my opinions or my advice on some things. And this time, we're doing it with Grumpy Trev as well because we got 2,000 subs on his channel. If you haven't seen Grumpy Trev's channel, I'll link it down in the description down below if you want to go sub to that, or a card should flash up here above his head somewhere. Yeah, so this is one of my favorite segments. I really love doing these videos because it's a great way to connect with the viewers and, you know, you guys out there, because we're just like you. Just two drone nuts who love talking FPV. And also a massive shout out to Diatone for sponsoring this episode, because this time we're giving away a brand new GT2 2017 version. I don't know if it's the stretched X version or just the normal version. I'll flash a picture on the screen anyway, but a massive shout out to them. And I know the GT2 for me, the last year's version, was a quad that really pushed my skills, and I think I blew a lot of people away with just its performance. So anyway, there's going to be a link down there to Diatone. Go and check that out, because basically the more people that click on that link, the more cool stuff we can get on the channel, and, you know, the better stuff we can give away next time for you guys. So anyway, I don't know what Trevor's doing, but let's jump right in, answer some question and answers. And don't forget, if you've got some questions, stick them in the comments down below, so hopefully we can answer them next time.
Did you tell him why we couldn't do the Q&A last week?
Why?
Stu lost his voice.
Yeah, I still got to ignore Trevor for this part, but not his answers. Alright. So this one's from Bert Mass. Okay, I have a fun one for you. What should everyone in the hobby have? What should everyone in the hobby have and is under 50 bucks?
Well, that'd be a few things, I reckon.
So if you had 50 bucks to spend, everyone, like, essentials for 50 bucks.
A nice little toolkit. You know, your hex drivers, pair of scissors, some tape, all that sort of stuff. Comes in really handy when you have a preen. Bit of velcro, even a little battery checker, which one of these things similar to that. All that sort of stuff you get under 50 bucks, and you've got a nice little toolkit. That's a must. So you can actually repair your quad on the field when you have an accident or whatever, instead of going home to fix it and get back out, rip some more batteries.
More flying time.
Yeah.
I would say for me, probably you need a backpack. So it makes such a difference in my life. You need to put everything in a backpack for that portability, where even if you can drive out to a spot, it's so much better having it in a bag. You can pack your stuff up quickly, move around if you need to. So for me, I reckon everybody should have a backpack, and you can get some super cheap as well.
Yeah, and you put your tools in it and your spare battery thing.
Alrighty. This one, and look, I should say I'm sorry for butchering all the names in this. How would you say this one? Assassin Rifles, maybe. Hey Stu, I'm new to your channel and the community. I was wondering what are good goggles for beginners. So I would say, if you're just getting into the hobby, some of the cheap Eachine 007 Pros, you know, I'll leave everything I talk about too, I'll link down in the description down below, but they're like as cheap as you can get. Or I would say get something like the Omways, or even the Sky Zones aren't too bad, or the Fly Keys, like around the $300 actual fat shark style goggles. Don't go middle of the range, so don't spend about the 200 or the 150 sort of style, because I think you're paying too much when you can just get the same sort of experience. Either go really cheap or jump up to about the $300 mark where the fat shark styles come in.
I'd just go all out, get the Omways, because you don't like it, you're not going to have any trouble selling them. They're just so hard to get. You probably won't be able to get them anyway at the moment.
Yeah, because I'm on my way.
Yeah. You won't have any trouble getting rid of them if you don't like it. Someone will buy them off you for sure.
Aiden Hughes. Hi Stu, I have a question. Are quads that you build your own better than pre-built quads? I've never built a quad before, and I have a few pre-built ones, and I'm learning towards building my own. What are your thoughts? Alright, Trev?
Pre-built quads, look, if you've got the skills to build one, if you can solder, that's half the battle. Build your own, because you can build what you want. It doesn't matter what frame you get. If you want any sort of frame, GT frame or whatever, you're going to build that to your own specifications. You get more out of it. You'll learn a lot and enjoy it more.
Yeah, I would say it really depends on your time. So I know some people just wouldn't be confident with a pre-built. I think if you're going to wouldn't be confident with building your own. I think if you want to learn the most and have the best quad, definitely build your own, because you'll also save yourself some money. But nowadays there's still, pre-built used to be a dirty word, and the pre-built quads used to be junk. But I know now today you can get a lot of really good stuff that does come pre-built. So don't feel bad if you have to do a pre-built, but I do think you're going to get the best quad for your money, and you're going to learn the most if you do build your own. Building your own is a ton of fun too. There's nothing quite like that first quad that you build, seeing it take off and seeing it actually fly from a bunch of parts that you build out of a box.
Yeah, if you don't think you've got the skill level, certainly buy one, because some of the ones we fly are pre-built and they're great.
This one's from Layrad. Hi Stewie, this question's been on my mind lately. What can you do or say to a pilot who is thinking of quitting the hobby, possibly due to costly repairs, malfunctioning setups, frustration, lack of skill progression?
Tell me what you got and how much you want for it.
Alright.
Nah, look, stick with it. It's always going to be frustrating. We've had days where we've gone out and just shit happens and it doesn't happen, and that's the worst part. It is frustrating, but stick with it, because long term, or even the short term, it doesn't happen all the time. You just have a lot of fun. If you're not too sure what's going on, ask your mates. You know, get together with a crew of guys and they'll be able to help you out. So yeah, stick with it. It is worth it.
I definitely think if you're having a bad time or it's just not going, remember that happens to everybody. It's not unique, and it will get better. You will have those really frustrating days. And exactly what Trevor's saying, fly around with your mates, because, you know, just bounce ideas off them, get them their help, and realize why you're doing it. You know, maybe if you are doing it to be the world's best racer and putting so much pressure on yourself, you're not going to have the best time. But I would say just, you know, this hobby's all about fun and having an awesome time with your mates. So just focus on that for your goal. It's okay if your quad doesn't fly the best, or you're not doing the best lap times or anything like that, as long as you're still out there having fun with your mates. And I think that if you keep that as a priority, it's much easier to have a good time. Dirthel will come for you. That question, what was your first FPV racing drone? Alright, Trev?
Well, my first racing drone was a Blackout 250 carbon frame, which back then, which was probably 5 years ago now, all set up around $750. That was US, not Australian. We had stuff like...
That's about 20,000 Australian dollars.
Yeah, we had stuff like... well, it was a really great carbon frame, which was made in Australia. Well, we got it in Brisbane. Really, probably the first 250 frames around. It was a great little quad. Expensive, but a lot of fun to fly. It had the CC3D in there, which are a real pain to configure. Then you had to... those days you had to set up your own PIDs and all that sort of stuff. It'd fly one day and be the next. So
if you flew it today, if you flew your Blackout today with all its stuff in it, you just built it, what would its Grumpy Trev rating be?
2.
Yeah, I don't think people understand how bad these quads used to fly back in the day.
When you got it right, when you got your PIDs right, it flew really well, but it's probably not even half the speed of most of the quads around today. It looks a bit like a ZMR 250, they copied them anyway. In those days, it was a great little quad, and it's got me into it, and haven't regretted it since, still doing it.
For me, mine was an Emax Nighthawk, which is probably about 6 months after the Blackouts were sort of around. I think it came out, and look, it was just like a cheap kit from Banggood that got me into the hobby. It was probably a little bit cheaper. I think all up it was about maybe $450 US or something, and it was like a 3S little beast. Well, it wasn't even a beast, you know, the propellers would break every time you hit something. It had 12 amp ESCs, which is nowadays, you know, most ESCs are 3 times that. And it flew with base flight, so, you know, which is better than yours. Mine had a nave. It did not fly well, but at the time I thought it did, so it flew around. And you know what, and you don't need performance to have a good time. I still absolutely loved it, and I was hooked from day one. I really, really loved that little thing. And that quad's got a special place on my wall at home, actually. It's down the bottom, somewhere down there, but yeah, I'll have that one forever. And his name was Frank the Tank. Even though I did break him and he was a heavy beast, I still had a lot of fun. Always something. This one's from you. What do you think is going to be the next big breakthrough for the hobby? Do you want me to do this one?
Yeah, go on. You go.
Alright. Actually, what do you think I'm going to say?
I reckon you...
okay, yeah. Alright, go. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I reckon what you're going to say. Digital radio for our TX, where we can all fly together. Doesn't matter how many people.
Yeah.
That needs to be smaller. And that'd be fantastic.
Is this your one? So
this is my one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're going to be might even agree with it.
Yep.
Digital VTXs that will fit in our little quads we've got at the moment.
So digital FPV feed.
Yeah, but small, not these monsters they got.
Credit card things. Yeah. And we really do struggle with that. Like a lot of times when we go out to fly, you know, when we get, as much as we love meeting people and flying with, everyone's always welcome to come, but sometimes it can be really hard to get a chance to get through your batteries, or even just to do a review or something. Sometimes we've got to sneak off to some extra special little spots to try and do some filming.
Yeah, really gives you the actually when you are out there and you got 6 or 7 guys turn up and then you can't fly, and you do 3 batteries for the day or instead of 30. So yeah, that
does make it hard for me. I would love that to be the next breakthrough. Do I think it's going to be? No, I think we're still a little while off, so maybe like 2 years or something. I think there's some hard laws of physics, some limitations we need to get past first. I think the next breakthrough that we're going to see is different compounds in our frames. So I think our frames might move away from carbon fiber. Some of this more traditional stuff, like, you know, some different things. We might be looking at some new sort of molds or something like that. That's what I think might be a breakthrough. It's a little bit of a change, and it seems a bit more easy to attain that goal versus digital FPV, which I want desperately more than anything. But that one seems quite hard because no one's cracked that yet. Timothy Mangalang. If there was only one piece of equipment you could spend extra cash on, what piece would it be? Motors, frames, batteries, VTX, goggles, transmitters. He's asking for a friend. One bit you get to upgrade, what would you spend that on?
Goggles, without question.
Yeah, I absolutely totally agree. Definitely, if you've got the cash to get some good goggles first time round, on-way Sky Zones, even some Fat Sharks if they work. Yeah. I would say that for me, that's where the biggest difference is.
When you're flying FPV, if you can't see, you're
yeah, what Trevor said, but with less swearing. So this one's from Alpha Bravo. Hi Stu, great show and love the wall of quads in your studio. Thanks very much, man. That's I guess like a bit of a museum piece. Okay, my question: what are your top 3 non-standard items you recommend to take to the field? Things people might not think of. Do you want me to go? You go.
You can go.
Cones, so like soccer cones or markers. So if you're going to be flying with other people, definitely if you want to mark out a track, or you know you want to try and explain, oh, you got to go around that tree and sort of under that little pass. Well, you know, some cones are really going to help you do that, and they look awesome when you're chasing down some cones on some FPV footage. It looks fantastic. Maybe like a fishing pole or a fishing line or something to get quads out of the tree. And number 3.
I'll try not to move, so it looks really good.
Probably, you know what, something that I need to think of more is spare SD cards. So whenever I'm recording all the time, or spare batteries for my cameras, I always forget those, you know, or if it says out of room or no battery left, for me, I'm done. So I think if you're into recording footage, make sure you've got a spare SD card, and if you've got some sick footage on your card, don't be afraid. Take it out, save it, and put the other one in, because even if worst came to worst, you lost your drone or smashed your camera, you've still got that footage saved. Trev?
Well, look, I reckon if you're going to go out for a day, take some food with you and some drink.
Yeah.
That's pretty important, because you get tried pretty easy, then, you know, someone wants to go get it, you've got to get off, and there's nothing closed. You know, you lose half an hour flying or more, so...
Thanks to Calvin too, because he has driven out a few times and gotten us some lunch.
Yeah.
Shout out to Calvin.
Yeah, Calvin. The third thing, gee whiz.
Well, is that one thing? That's one thing, Trev. Yeah. Food and drink.
Is it? Oh, yeah. Food, drink, that's 2.
Yeah, okay, alright, alright.
Picky, isn't he? A chair. I don't know if that's standard, but I take a chair.
Yes.
And even a computer, if you something happens, a small laptop or something like that, that's not really standard, but we do take it. But it can come in handy, especially if you're setting up a new quad. So
yeah. Oh, and maybe a soldering iron.
Yeah, yeah.
Too. I think, like, I'm going to leave a link somewhere above Trev's head, the TS100. That's also something that, look, I'd say a lot of people don't take a soldering iron out to the field, but I know it's saved my bacon a few times, and some of Trev's quads as well that he's broken.
Does my hair look alright?
It looks great. Fernick Harfner. If there would be an episode about yourself, what would be the most important thing you would mention about yourself? So this one's not really FPV related, probably more UAVfutures related, and I would say one thing that I want people to know out there about myself is I'm just like you guys. Like, I'm just a drone nut. I'm just a dude in his lounge room or in Trevor's garage shed making videos about FPV and drones because I love this hobby. Like, I'm just like you guys, and it feels really weird. I was talking to a friend actually last night. He sent me some messages and he said, oh, it's kind of like, you know, he sort of put me in the same class as like Ladrib or Steele or Joshua Bardwell. And for a bit I was like, yeah, but those guys are famous. So I don't feel like that on the internet. I feel like just like one of you guys. And I'm sure if there's a heap of people, I would probably be starstruck that I met. So I just want people to know I feel just like you guys. I'm just a dude who makes videos about FPV and a hobby that he's really passionate about. What about you, Trev? What would you like people to know about you?
Not much.
Alright.
No, all really. No, same. Look, I'm just a drone nut. Really enjoying what I'm doing now. This is a lot of fun. Can't believe I've got 2,000 subs, so yeah, gluttons for punishment, you guys, that's for sure. I suppose a good thing is just to prove that anyone can fly these things. Doesn't matter how old you are, because, you know, I'm an old fart. I know there's a lot of older guys out there who appreciate that. So you're never too old, never too young, really. So if you're old like me, stick to it, because it's a lot of fun.
I reckon it probably keeps you young too.
Oh, yeah,
if you keep doing this, your reflexes, I think, will... Maybe mental studies for 2055, you know, Trevor lives to super old because he's been doing FPV his whole life, been in the newspaper.
Yeah, it could be too, yeah, I'm already there, super old.
Alright, moving on. Colin Myers, question and answer. Hi Stu, if you have a standard drone and are looking to take it to the next level, what's the first thing you would upgrade?
Motors.
Why? Why would you upgrade the motors out of anything? So you've got a standard average drone, it's not bad, it's not great, why would you upgrade the motors?
Just put some decent motors on, it's going to go a bit harder for you, providing you can fly it, of course. Depending what sort of drone it is, but...
Let's say the Tyrant.
A Tyrant. Motors.
Yeah. For me, I would say upgrade the FP. I think motors are going to make you go faster, but for me, I'm all about the FPV feed. I want a better camera in there, so I might put in a better camera or one that's got an OSD inbuilt or something like that. I think it's always a good place to spend money on your FPV camera, but it's also a pretty breakable place, so I find myself breaking more cameras than motors, so it might be a little bit pricey as well. Radio, Trevor Hercher. Sorry about your name, Trev.
Nice bloke. Gotta be a nice bloke.
I've noticed a lot of pilots seem to disable the artificial horizon on the OSD. Is there any benefit to using it along with the vertical bars for racing? I feel like it helps me with lining up gates when practicing on the simulator. I'm going to tackle this one first. I'm going to say turn all that stuff off. You don't want any of those distractions on there, because when I'm flying around, all I want is my voltage, my timer, and maybe like my little pilot name or something like that down the bottom. You don't need any of that stuff, I don't think. You know, it doesn't help. And if you're using it to line up gates, it might be okay on the sim because look, it's in real time, but if you're actually flying around, I find there's a little bit of lag or latency between where the artificial horizon actually is and where your drone actually is. So it might be banking and your artificial horizon's not quite caught up to it yet. And I don't think it helps at all. I think it's more of a distraction, a hindrance. So I would say turn all that off. And it might feel weird with the depth perception and all that stuff, but just flying around, you will get used to it. It does feel weird at the start, and I'm sure everybody can agree in the comments, but it does feel weird, but it does get better. Trev?
Yeah, well, I'm going to say, look, if you leave it on, it'll be okay, but you're going to hit gates okay, but you will hit them. You won't go through them, you'll hit them, because you'll be too busy looking at these lines on there. When you're going at the speeds that you're going at, you've got this much room to get through. You take your eyes off what you're focused on and focus on that line, you're going to hit the ground, the gate, or whatever you like. It's so much different on a simulator. Turn all that shit off for sure, because it's really is distracting.
Scott Hollingshead, question and answer. How do you balance your family life and this hobby with the amount of content and flying you do? Also, has your wife ever attempted FPV with success? It seems like it'll be unavoidable. Thanks for everything you do. Thanks very much, man. Appreciate those kind words. No, my wife, like, she's flown some drones around inside, and I've taken her for ride-alongs. I think it's a little bit difficult at the moment with our daughter to sort of get her out and get her flying as well. But look, she does want to do it in the future, so I feel pretty lucky that, you know, she is a little bit into this stuff. In terms of balancing like FPV life and hobby life and making so much content for the channel, a lot of people don't realize, just like only content creators will realize just how much effort there is in like filming, editing, getting everything ready. There is so much more than just like the minutes you see on YouTube. And you know, I imagine like people like Ladrib, who are doing so much editing and so many vlogs, putting so many hours in behind the scenes to make it work. You couldn't do it if you didn't love it. So if you weren't passionate about it and you didn't love it, it would absolutely kill you. Look, it's really tiring for me sometimes because I'm always working on it late at night, early in the morning. Any spare time I basically have, I find myself working on there. So yeah, I guess in terms of balancing it, I just do it in my spare time. I don't have normal spare time. If my spare time is doing this, and that the only way that's possible is because I love it. So I'd say you couldn't do it unless you didn't love it. So there it is. That's how I balance it, is because I absolutely love it, and I just use it. So any downtime where people might watch TV or something like that, that's the time that I work on UAVfutures. Trev, do you have that problem?
No, not at all. my wife thinks FPV is a swear word, so I say, look, I'm going to have fun. She says, "F off and fly."
Trev's been married for a while.
Yeah, been married for a while, so.
Alright, so this one's from Stephen M. G'day, Stu. What would you recommend for someone just getting into the hobby and knows nothing? Build my first drone or buy pre-built like the Eachine Wizard? We sort of tackled this one before. Trev?
Yeah, look, if you've got the skills, I think like we said before, you can solder okay and you don't mind a bit of a learning curve, build your own. But if you want to get out there nice and quick, just buy one.
Yeah, totally agree. I think for the Wizard's price too, like not the new Wizard with the funny arms, the old Wizard, last year's Wizard, the normal X220. Look, it's for the money you pay, it's an awesome drone. So yeah, I think, you know, either way, it's not going to be a bad choice. Connor Copeland, hi Stu. How important is tuning to you, and how do you go about doing it? I know you can set up PIDs through your goggles with things like smart audio, or just bring your computer to the field. Any suggestions? Yeah, I'm going to say, Cooper, I don't do it at all. Like, I just pretty much put on default, go out there. I might change my rates a little bit. Beta flies so well for me, in my opinion, and I know there's going to be people who disagree in the comments. Stuart, you should tune, or you're an idiot, or you don't know what you're talking about. But for me, look, default flies fine, and I think until I really need to push my skill more, I'm trying to push my skills all the time, but until I'm running into issues that I think the standard tune can't fix, then I'm probably not going to switch, because they just keep coming out with better revisions all the time. And for me, I'm more than happy with the stock tune, especially from where we came from, like CCD and base flight and clean flight, which used to fly like junk back in the day. Beta flight was like a godsend. Trev?
This guy was a beginner, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. It didn't say, actually.
Doing PIDs, in my opinion, with what we've got today, it's crap. Just put on beta flight, set it up and just go out and fly it. If you're going to go racing, you can get into that. Obviously there's some forums or something you can go to frig around with your PIDs. But if you want to have fun, just grab beta flight, just plug it in, let it go out, and just let it roll, because it just works. It just hot.
Do you reckon if you did go to a race and someone had a tuned quad, but someone was a better pilot with just a default quad or default tune, which pilot do you think would win that race? Do you think the PIDs make a difference in terms of like as much as skill level makes a difference?
No.
Yeah, I would that's kind of how I'd feel as well. Like if you rocked up to a race and flew stock PIDs, the PIDs aren't going to make you win the race. It all comes down to pilot skill. Yes. So even the worst tuned quad, if you messed around and totally messed up your PIDs, in a good pilot's hand is still going to whoop the pants off somebody who's got the best tuned quad in the world.
I totally agree with that.
Hi Stu, so this one's from Count Basie. Hi Stu, I'm a huge fan of your UAVfutures test track with the T-drive and a forest track you made for the Twig review, and they make me wonder, how do you plan out a track? Do you fly a line first and then track it out, or do you track it out and then fly it? Thanks. Trev, or you want me to go, or you go?
Well, we do.
This is probably, we can both answer this together, because we usually go out flying all the time together anyway.
Yeah, we basically fly around a track, and normally Stu will fly the track, what we think it is, and I'll walk around with a few cones or something like that, and we'll whack a cone or a gate somewhere. Then we'll try it and say, no, that's not right, so we'll move a gate or whatever, and we get a track that flows that we like, rather than make it too difficult, because you can go overboard and make a track that's got a bit of attitude towards it, and it can really suck. And we've had a few of those tracks where sometimes we're flying one track, it's been okay, but then we reverse direction. It's really fantastic. So play around with it. Just don't make them too technical, because you can overdo it.
Yeah, and you don't want a track where you're going to be crashing all the time as well. Like, you don't want a survival course. You want something that's nice and flowy, some good speed, some good turns. And yeah, I would say most of the time I try and fly around and think, gee, I like that run, or I like that little gap there, moving into that space, and that flowed really well. And then we'd put some gates down and say, all right, how can we link that to the next part of the track? So we definitely fly it around first and then track it out. I think I've got a video, actually, one of my happy flying videos on how to go and how to go about that, setting up a good track. I'll leave a link, it should flash up somewhere, or it'll be in the description down below. Asgar Saldo. So with many new pilots appearing nowadays, what advice would you give for those who would like to become well known and get sponsored? Trevor, I'll probably end. This is the last question, actually, so Trev.
You want to get well known, I can think of a lot of ways you could do that, but you'd probably get arrested. Yeah. And then you won't get sponsorship, so yeah, we better pass this one over to Stu.
Okay, I would say for getting well known and get sponsored, they really go hand in hand. I think you need to get well known first before you get sponsored. You need to really bring something to the table that companies want to stand behind, because you're a financial cost to those companies. If they're sponsoring you, they're going to be losing money because they've got to send you product, or they've got to spend time with you, or put some sort of resource in. So I would say you need to build something that you can give back to them, and the best way I can think about that is making good quality content on YouTube. It's not going to happen straight away. You need to start making, you need to start building up an audience and having some good viewers, and getting the retention, and I guess like a family of viewers that sort of enjoy the content that you make. And then you can reach out to some companies and say, look, this many people watch my videos. I'd love to, I've used some of your stuff in the past. Can you do me a deal? And it doesn't even have to be free stuff. Like, I couldn't care less about free stuff. I just want to make good content for you guys. And if you're in it just to get free stuff, I definitely think that's the wrong way to go about it, because you're not going to end up with, you're not going to be flying the things that you want, that you'd probably go out and buy in the first place. And I would say, like, reach out to some of those companies that you've got some stuff off before, and you might not get stuff for free, but you might get a discount, or you might say, look, if I use these, can I get this at a lower price, or something like that, and reach out to those companies that you sort of believe in. You need to offer something back to those other companies out there, those other vendors, so when they're financially investing in you, you can give them something in return. So best advice, build an audience, or build some content, or make sure you're getting some views so you can sort of get their content out there, and reach out to people, the companies that you believe in. Reach out to them and say, look, can we work something out? Oh wait, is there another one, or was that the last one? No, I think that was the last one. Alrighty, so there it is. There's this week's question and answer episode. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Remember, definitely, if you've got some questions, stick them in the comments down below, because I love answering your questions, and it's a great opportunity for other people to learn information, and also we can give away some stuff. So massive shout out to Diatone for sponsoring this episode. I'll leave a link down below to their new Diatone GT2 2017 version, which looks like an absolute beast, and I can't wait to review mine. But yeah, who are we going to give? I'm going to let Trev pick the questions. Out of those ones, Trev, which one did you think, which one do you want to send that off to?
I reckon Grumpy Trev.
No.
Oh, I can't do that?
No, pick someone on there.
The one I really liked was the top 3 items you'd take that you wouldn't normally take, or non-standard items. So,
alright, that
sounded pretty cool.
That was Alpha Bravo. Alright, so Alpha Bravo, definitely check your inbox or spam box. Look, I'm going to send you a message, and then I'll pass your details on to Diatone. But yeah, thanks so much, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Remember, definitely subscribe for more FPV related content. If you've got some stuff if you've got some questions, stick them down below. Subscribe to Grumpy Trevor's channel, and as always, happy flying. Oh, Trevor?
Yeah, I've got a shout out to the guys over in the UK. When I was over there a couple of weeks ago, met a couple of guys at Bournemouth. So Marty and Karen, thanks for the beers, guys. If you're ever over here, come and see me. I eat a couple of beers. We spoke, I think, for about 3 hours. Totally FPV stuff. It was a real hoot. Really enjoyed it. Thanks for your company, guys.
Actually, I'm going to give a shout out too. So this one's a bit of a crazy story. Shout outs at the end of this video. This has never happened, but this one goes out to John Johnson. So a massive shout out to John Johnson up in, I think it's in Sydney. He's in Sydney at the moment. But crazy story. This guy I went to high school with. He still is one of my awesome friends, Bass. So shout out to him. This guy was talking to him at work about drone videos, and he was like, "Hang on, that's like one of my best friends from high school." So massive shout out to John Johnson for, I guess, sharing this love of FPV and sharing my videos around. So thanks very much, man.
G'day, Mum.
Alright, thanks guys. Happy flying. Oh, another bonus too. So something to remember too, we're going to give you a bit of a tour of Trevor's workshop, because I know a lot of people want to see this as well. So look, this is probably going to be super shaky camera. Feel free to just go watch another video, but if you want to check out what Trevor's workshop looks like, let's have a bit of a tour, see what he's got. Because you think my place is crazy, you wait till you see this place. It is, you can't see anything on the camera. You wait till I pick it up. It's ridiculous the amount of stuff that's in here. I love coming in this workshop. It's like the best man cave that I know.
Keep in mind, I did tidy up.
It is filthy. Alright, Trevor, I don't know how this focus is going to go, mate, so it's just up to you. Let's go. So here's Trevor's tour.
Well, geez, guys, I hope I'm in focus. It's probably better than I'm not. This is my chair. Yeah, cool as that. Everyone got a chair like that? Your workbench, where I do all my drone shit.
Yep.
All my parts and crap and everything. Over to the left, we've got a nice tidy bench with
look how much stuff.
A couple of printers on there, which we printed a bit of shit on.
Alright, what happens if I pan to the left? What am I looking at over here?
Oh, just another printer.
Yep, there's that bag.
There's my bag with all my gear on it. A few quads on the wall. They're all ones that I still fly.
Mm-hmm.
All the rest, some I started with. This is a This is a bit of a beast, this one. That don't really fly that much. Well, haven't flown it for 3 years, so probably don't fly it at all. That's just the drone bin.
And you've cleaned up, you said.
I cleaned up, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is my very first fly. This is an iFly. Didn't fly very well. These things, every time you landed them, you broke something. The biggest piece of shit on the market.
Where was that from?
iFly.
Okay.
Ideal Fly, I think it was.
Okay.
And then I got myself into the DJI 450 frames.
Yep.
Upgraded the TBS. Fantastic. Still flies today. That's really good.
And what's that stuck all over the roof? What is that?
That.
Yeah.
Oh, there's CDs.
Oh yeah, just where you keep them.
There used to be thousands on the roof. We used to have mirrored roof, you know.
Yeah,
really
a disco.
Kinky shit.
Trevor. Alright, I'm going to come over here. So what else we got?
We've got a few pennies we play when we get bored and we can't fly. A big bin to put all my shit in there, and more
and then this
parts and crap over here.
Yeah, it literally, there's just tubs.
Shit just collected over the years.
Tubs and tubs of hobby gear, like everywhere. Even in that back room. There's stuff over in this room. Trevor, like what's that? What's that box? A Salt Reaper. That doesn't even look like it's opened.
No, it's not. That's brand new.
What is it? So,
anyone want to buy it? Make me an offer.
Trevor. All right. So thanks, Trev. So for that little tour of your workshop, yeah, I like it. I like coming to this place, and I do think it looks better that you've cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah,
so
that's good. I did it for you, Stu, and the viewers. So
thanks very much for that.
Yeah. Oh, I want to see my battery thing. That's
yeah.
cool.
All right. What do you got for your battery?
This is where I charge my batteries. I've got a nice little box here.
Yep.
Which is a little fireproof box, and I can charge. How many have I got in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12 at once.
All right.
I haven't had a fire yet, but
you've tested it though.
I have tested it. I built one and set fire to a battery in it, and contained it very well. It didn't even burn. I had batteries next to it, and that didn't even burn. So
yep.
Proof of concept before I did it. So
yeah, I think that's a smart idea.
Works out alright. Just a toolbox mounted into a thing full of what do they call that shit over in there?
Plaster.
We call it plaster. You call it
white sheet,
whiteboard, wetboard, drywall. I think you used to call it. Yeah, drywall. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I do think it's important if you're going to be charging inside. Definitely, you know, try and do it.
Never leave them alone.
Yeah, that's right. Always. All right. Thanks very much, Trev. All right. Last words.
We'll put some content up so you can actually go to Grumpy Trev and might even have something there in the next couple of days.
All right. What do you think we might have? Any sneak peeks, or you want to keep it a surprise?
Sneak peek. I've got a
give us this sneak peek because I'm a bit jealous of this actually.
This is the new version 2 Chameleon. A little bit different than the other one, so we'll stick that on the bench and give that a quick going over. Won't be as thorough as our mate here, but and then we'll go out and fly it because that's what we like to do.
All right,
Put them through.
Actually, pretty jealous of that. That does look good.
Yeah.
All right, nice. Thanks, Trev.